War is a universal language. I know a renegade soldier when I see one. Never occurred to me that one might come from above. Space invasion, big car chase. Truth be told, I was ready to hang it up till I met you today. So you're not from around here?
It's hard to explain. I keep having these memories. I see flashes. I think I had a life here. But I can't tell if it's real.
We have no idea what threats are out there. We can't do this alone. We need you.
I'm not what you think I am.
That was the first trailer for Marvel Studios' next film, Captain Marvel, set to come out in March of 2019. This is the first film starring Brie Larson's character and also the first Marvel solo outing to be led by a female superhero. So Adam, what did you think of this first trailer?
Let's just get it out of the way. I loved it. It was awesome.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
me too.
I feel like I'm getting tired of saying that for all the Marvel trailers, but they do them well, and this was particularly fresh. I don't know how. Maybe it was the way they cut it together. Maybe it was the images. Maybe it was the fact that it's kind of set in the 90s and there's a bit of a retro thing going on with Nick Fury. I just thought with an extremely limited glimpse, they did a really good job of teasing the story without giving too much away.
Yeah, I think the mark of a good trailer is the ability to tease the story while also giving you a sense of what the movie is going to feel like and get you sort of enticed about what the movie could be. Like, I don't like trailers that over-explain the plot, and I don't like trailers that are just pictures. And I thought this was a perfect balance. But you're right. I mean, this should not come as a surprise. Marvel is astonishingly good at advertising their movies. And but even still, yeah, I walked away from this trailer and I am remarkably even more excited for this movie than I already was. And I was already basically already bought my ticket in my heart.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved it. I think Brie Larson looks great. I think it's cool that we're bringing Samuel L. Jackson back into the franchise. I mean, you know, Nick Fury's always a great person to sort of. He always has great chemistry with everybody. That's why Samuel L. Jackson keeps getting cast in things. And I love how the trailer teases him and Brie Larson's dynamic. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
It still is so cool to see how much effort Marvel puts in their movies in terms of just design work.
Oh,
and the kind of like caring about the visuals. I mean, I'm not going to name other studios or endeavors that are, you know, trying to make superhero movies, but it's just like, and I'm not just talking about DC, I promise. It's just like sometimes you look at it, it's like, did you try? Did you try? It's just like, I think Marvel has kind of understood that the ante is so high now that they just have to live up to it for every single movie. And for each movie, it doesn't have to be in the same way. You know, it doesn't have to be this giant star-studded spectacle like Infinity War. It just has to have this kind of level of quality and care and affection for the story and for the characters. And it's like somehow it's this machine because we're on, 18, 19, 20 movies now, but it's still like a machine with a soul, which I find really fascinating in terms of a cinematic universe.
What also really struck me about this trailer was it was not what I expected in terms of an origin story. Like I expected this movie to kind of be how she became Captain Marvel, but it, at least from how the trailer presents her origin story, it feels like that's going to be told mostly in flashback. So it isn't the how she became Captain Marvel so much as a story involving Captain Marvel. At least that's what it feels like at this point. Again, like the trailer does a really good job of hiding what that movie's going to actually be about while just getting us jazzed and getting us invested in it. So, but it was definitely surprising for me. I did not expect that.
I think Marvel started to figure out with Spider-Man Homecoming that you don't, or even, Captain America Civil War, that you don't need to spend a whole movie on an origin story.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, sometimes the character speaks for itself, and that's enough for the audience to latch onto, and you just cut to the good stuff. I mean, in terms of like female superheroes or origin stories, I have a really good example to bring in. I just watched the Alicia Vikander Tomb Raider movie like a night or two ago. Yeah, you probably knew this was coming.
Yeah.
And the movie is really not good. And at the very end, in the last 5 minutes, they basically set up this conspiracy where it's like the chief operating officer of Croft Industries is involved in this global conspiracy, and she Lara Croft is just signed over the company to her, and like she has to carry on the mantle of the Tomb Raider and fight her own company, who's fight the heir of her father. And it's like this really fascinating thing, except that's the last 5 minutes of the movie, and the other 2 hours is shit. And like we're probably not going to get another movie because the first 2 hours was shit. It's like I wanted to see that character and that version and that story.
Well, it's like we don't need to see, like, Spider-Man's a great example, too. We don't need to see Uncle Ben die again.
No,
like, we really don't need to see Uncle Ben die again. So it's like, yeah, what looks really good about this movie, and again, this is just based off of this first trailer, but what looks really good is it is a completely separate story involving Captain Marvel that finds a way to, that looks like it's going to find a way to weave her origin in a more subtle and clever and interesting way. Like it's something, it from the trailer it feels like something that happened in another timeline. Like she's like, this is something that I remember but I don't know actually happened. So and that also I don't know, I'm just theorizing here, but that feels like it might have something to do with the next Infinity War movie. I don't know, but
well, it's already been kind of announced that it will. Like she's gonna play a part in her character is going to be central to how the timeline gets fixed or altered in the sequel to Infinity War. And I guess it is kind of the perfect time to bring in a female-led superhero movie. I mean, I was excited from the day she was cast, which was like 3 years ago. Like we've known she's going to be playing Captain Marvel for a while.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad to think, I mean, what is this, like film 19 and it's the first female-led movie? It's kind of like, I'm surprised it took this long, but at the same time, it looks like it's going to be like Wonder Woman good. It's going to get that really warm reception and be like a key seminal moment in the cultural lexicon of superhero movies. And like that I mean, I don't want to get too hyped up. You can probably hear me, putting this on a pedestal already. It's just like, not everything does connect with me in terms of Marvel movies. I mean, like Black Panther, I know everyone loved it, just didn't do it for me, and so like, not that it wasn't good, it just wasn't, I didn't latch on like others did. And for Captain Marvel, I'm already like latching on. Like I think I get what kind of vibe they're going for, and I'm just digging it so much, especially with like the retro and like the kind of self-aware humor with like the blockbuster, her falling into a blockbuster and punching an old lady who's probably not an old lady, or if it's a simulation.
That was a little weird. Yeah.
It's just, it's bold.
Got my
attention.
Funny. Yeah, got my attention. Exactly. So thank you for listening. We're both very excited for this movie. You can check out other trailer analyses and our podcast and video essays and short films on the Screen Fever channel. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, and we'll see you guys next time.